vectors are pretty important. And so, but I want to also show you and give you an introduction to Python because Python is pretty important too, and it can do a lot of great things with vectors. So what I want to do is first off go through these calculations, and then I'm going to show you how to do 3D representations of vectors in Python. So we're going to do a lot of Python, but let's just start off with what I want to do. And I do have to show you one thing before we get to all of it. So here I have two vectors. I just made them up off the top of my head, A and B. What we want to do is find A minus B, and you can do these all on paper, and if you're not really sure how to get the answer, you should do that. The magnitude of A hat, 3B minus 2A hat, I made that one up, and then we're going to do A dot B. Now that one I haven't talked about yet, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's do these other things first in Python, and let's just jump into Python and do these calculations, and I'm going to show you how awesome it is in Python and how useful it can be too. So I'm jumping over here to, and I'll give you a link to this code. You can use it if you want, but you really should do it from scratch. This is web vpython. So web vpython is Python with the vpython module installed, and it has built-in classes for vectors and stuff like that. So that's going to make it a lot easier. This first line you see up here is just part of the web vpython, so you can run it on a web page. So you don't bother with that. So this editor has two. You can do it in a split screen, but I have it zoomed in. It has two main buttons up here. The pencil icon, it switches back to edit mode. The play things runs it. Let's just do something really easy. A equals 1, print A. So print statement is really a useful function because it outputs a value, and so you can get things from the code. So A was equal to 1, so it printed A, which is equal to 1, so you get 1. Yay. Now, just so you know, I could also do something more complicated in my print statement. Quote A equals comma A. So whatever I put in quotes is going to print that, followed by the variable A. So if I do this, it looks a little bit nicer. A equals 1. Not too big. Okay. A couple of important points about Python. 1, Python is case sensitive. So capital A and lowercase a are not the same thing. Point number 2, you do not have to declare variables. You do not have to say A is a number, A is an integer. Python kind of figures that out. Okay, so watch this. A equals a cow. Now print A. So it printed A equals 1, just like I said. And then I told A was with a string. It's like, okay, if you want it to be a string, it's a string. Boom. So you don't have to worry about all that kind of stuff. It's like, I got you. I can work with you. Okay, well, let's just jump into it. And you're not going to learn this stuff without doing it. And this is super simple stuff, but it's also very useful. On top of that, we're kind of getting started with things that we're going to do later on, which are super cool. So I'm just going to enter in A and B just like I have right here. So there is a vector class in Python, and I can say A equals vector, all lowercase, parentheses, and then I need 3 numbers for the x, y, and z coordinate. So I'm looking up here, I have negative 1.1, negative 1.1, comma, 0.3, I can't remember what I wrote, 1.8. So now I have a vector. Let's just print that and see what it looks like. There's my vector. That's exactly what I entered. Now let's do vector B. B equals vector. And if you did, let's just say I did 1, 2. I don't give it 3 things, and I'm going to print B. Let's just see what happens. Okay, nothing happened, because if you scroll down here, in vector, Z must be a number. See, so it tells you that. So it won't let you do that. Okay, which is nice. 0.9. 2.2, negative 3.1. So now I have my 2 vectors. I can print B now. No, I can't because I messed something up. What did I do? 0.9. Oh, well, I missed my comma. There. Okay. So I have my 2 vectors. Now we can start doing things. We don't have to assign. One of the nice things is you can do an operation in the print statement. You could say something like this. I'll do it the easy way. C equals B minus A. What is that? No, A minus B. A minus B, print C. So A and B are both vectors. So when you do an operation like subtraction, the result is a vector. And there you go. Now, I could do print A minus B. I can do that operation right there. So if you want to do something quick, that's a nice way to do it. And I didn't put C equals and all that stuff. Okay, so that's that first one. You check it if on paper, make sure you get the same thing. Next, we're going to do the magnitude of A. Now, I'm going to do this two ways. Watch this. So we know that we can find the magnitude of A by squaring the x component, the y component, and z component squared, add them together, take the square root. So let me show you this first. So I can say print a dot x. If I have a vector class and I add dot x on the end of it, it just takes the x component. So this should print the x component of vector A, which is negative 1.1. And I printed negative 1.1, just like I said. So if I want to find ax squared, I can do the whole operation. Let's just say it like this. I'm going to call it a mag. I'm going to give it a name. And it's going to be the square root. That's a built-in function in vpython. If you're using real Python, the square root function is not there. You'd have to import another module to have square root. Square root's built in. So now I'm going to do ax squared. So ax squared is a dot x. That's the x component. And then squared in Python is star star 2. Right? It's not hat 2. It's star star. Now I'm going to do the same thing for a dot y squared plus a dot z squared. Now I'm going to print that. And I'm doing this just to show you that there's another way to do it. So I get a magnitude of 2.13. You can check that on paper and see if you get the same thing. Now, there is a built-in function in Python, vpython, that returns the magnitude of a vector. So I'm just going to say print mag. Mag is a reserved function. I need to pass to it a vector. And I'm going to pass it the a vector, and it's going to return the magnitude. So these two things should give me the same value. It does. Okay, next. We're going to do a hat. So let's go down here. I don't want to print that anymore. I'm going to do this manually. I'm going to say a hat. I'm going to write it out. Remember that we calculate a hat as the vector a divided by the magnitude of a. So it's just going to be a divided by a mag. A mag is just a scalar. I can divide a vector by a scalar, and I can print that out. And I get a vector that seems like it could be a unit vector. You could double check and make sure that it has a magnitude 1. Yes, there is another way to do this. So I don't have to do it like that. There's a built-in function that returns the unit vector if you give it a vector, and it's called norm. So if I have the function norm, I give it the vector a, it's going to return a unit vector for a. Nice. Same thing. Okay. Now we're down here for this 3b minus 2a hat. That'd be fun. So again, we can do this two ways. I could use my a hat and I can say print, what did I say? 3 times b minus 2 times a hat. Or I could do, I don't want to print this. I don't want to parent. Print 3 times b minus 2 times norm a. Same thing. I should get the same thing in both cases. Now, let me just go ahead and show you something real quick. What if I had done a mag? What if I just did, or that, 3b minus 2? What's going to happen if I do 3b minus 2? And I got an error. Because you cannot subtract a scalar and a vector. They're different things, right? So it will check me on that, which is really nice. Now we need to do the dot product. Let me talk about what the dot product is and why we're going to do it, because there is a problem later on. I'm going to use the dot product. That's what I'm showing you now. So if I'm right here on the board, okay, which I am on the board, and I lost my chalk. I don't have white. Well, I got this piece. So suppose I have a vector a, and then I have a vector b. I can calculate a dot b, but what does it mean? It's a scalar product, and basically it says take the vector a, project it into the direction of b. So this is going to be a sub b. It's a component of a in the direction of b, and then multiply a times the magnitude of b. Now, so you can see here that if this is the angle theta, this projection AB is going to be the magnitude of A times the cosine of theta. And then I need to multiply it by B. So that would be my dot product. A dot B would be A cosine theta times B. Well, there's actually another way to do this. We can calculate A dot B as AX times BX plus AY times BY plus AZ times BZ. So if you take all their components and multiply them together, the x's together, the y's together, the z's together, and then add it up, you get that. Now, but that's useful because over here, I can also write, that's the magnitude of A, that's the magnitude of B. So A dot B is going to be equal to the magnitude of A, magnitude of B, cosine theta. And so really, the nice thing here is you can actually get the angle between two vectors. If I use this version of the dot product and this version, I can say cosine theta is equal to A dot B, which is just a number, divided by the magnitude of AB, and then you can find theta. And we're going to do that. So let's find A dot B, and then find the angle between those two. Switching back to Python, here we go. Okay, so I already have my A and B in vectors. I'm going to delete all this stuff. Oops, I'm going to delete it all. I don't really want it anymore. I'm not going to give you this code because I'm deleting it all. Let's just go ahead and calculate A dot B. So I'm going to print it out. Print A, no, so in Python, it may not be surprising, there's a function called dot. And so I say dot, and I need to give it two vectors, A and B, and print it out, it'll be A dot B. Now, and it can be negative, that's fine. Let's do it the other way. Let's just check the other thing. So I'm going to print A dot X times B dot X plus A dot Y times B dot Y plus A dot Z times B dot Z. Let's just see if it is indeed what we said it should be. Same thing. So it does work. Okay, now what if I want to find cosine theta? I want to find theta and cosine theta. So let's just do this in two parts. I'm going to say cosine theta. I'm going to write it out as a longer thing, just like that, so we can see it. Theta. It's going to be equal to A dot B, so that's dot AB, divided by the magnitude of A times the magnitude of B. Let's just print that and see if it gives us a number. Cos theta. It gave me a number. Okay. Now, could I find the angle theta? Yes, I can. So theta is going to be equal to the inverse cosine. This is another function that's built into vpython. It's called a cos. It's of cos theta. And it will return the angle in radians. So I'm going to print that. And then I'm going to print it in degrees. So I'm going to print theta times 180 divided by pi. Pi is also a built-in number in vpython, but not in normal Python. So this will give me the angle between those two. So 135 degrees. I think in radians. I meant degrees, not radians. Okay, so that's the dot product. Now what I want to do is to make a visual. Okay, so let me go back to the board for a second. I'm going to show you what we're going to do because there's some other cool stuff that we can visualize in Python. Suppose I have 2 point particles in space, and they're at A and B. I don't even know what that looks like, but it doesn't matter. So here, I'm going to use orange. So suppose I have A right there and B right there. So this is the vector RA, which I'm just using as A, and this is the vector RB right there. I want to calculate the vector from A to B, and then I want to draw these. I want to draw this in 3D, and that's what I'm going to do. So remember that this R, we'll call it R, is just going to be the final position RB minus the initial position RA. So we can calculate that and then display them. Now in Web vPython, we have some really nice three-dimensional tools to make three-dimensional models. So the two we're going to use today are the sphere and the arrow. Let me just jump into it and create these. You don't have to do this, but it will be useful later to make some cool visualizations. So I have my A and B already. So what I'm going to do is to put a sphere at those two locations. Imagine that we have some origin, and I want to put a sphere at these locations. So I'm going to call this what should I call it? I'll call it ball A, and it's an object of type sphere. So sphere is a built-in function in Python. I can give it some parameters. I can give it the location, I can give it the radius, I can give it the color, I can do a whole bunch of other things. Let's just do those three. So I'm going to say the position, we use the attribute POS. Okay, that's a predefined parameter for the sphere object. You can look those up if you go to help. I'm not going to do that right now. So this is just going to be A. You could type it out as a vector, but I already have a as a vector. Now the radius I want, if you don't put a radius, it's going to be a radius of 1. But you see here that I'm dealing with something that maybe I should have 0.1 as the radius, and I'm going to have the color is yellow. So color is color dot yellow. So yellow is not a color, it's a color attribute of the color property. Now let's do the same thing for ball B. It's also a sphere. Its position is going to be B. Someone once got angry that I didn't put spaces here. So I'm going to put spaces because I don't want to make people angry. I don't know why, but it doesn't really matter, right? And then the radius is also, let's put it as 0.1. And then the color is color dot cyan. It's going to be a black background, so the lighter colors work better. And let's run this. So you'll see now that we have actually a 3D display. So there are my two things, and it is in 3D. So you can click, you can scroll and zoom in or zoom out, and then you can click, drag, and you can rotate the whole thing around. Okay, so those are my objects in 3D space. Cool. Now what I want to do is put an arrow from the origin to each one of these locations. So to do that, I'm going to go down here and say arrow A is an object of type arrow. Arrow is a built-in object. Now this one has a couple parameters. First, the position is the start of the arrow. So I'm going to put the position at vector 0, 0, 0. Right? I'm going to start from the origin wherever that is. And then the other important property is called axis, and it's a vector from the start location to the end. So since I started at 0, this is just going to be A. You may have to calculate that in other ways. Now, let's give it a color. I guess I'll make it yellow. Color equals color dot yellow. And then let's do the same thing for arrow B. It's an arrow. Position equals vector 0, 0, 0. Again, starting from the origin. Axis equals B. Color equals color dot cyan. And I'm going to run it. And there are my two arrows. Now, I'm not going to change this. You can change the shaft width of that so they're both the same thickness. It does it proportionally. There's a whole bunch of other options you can do, but here's my origin, vector to that one, vector to that one. I'm pretty happy with that and rotate it around. Now I want to make a vector from A to B. Did I say A to B? Yeah, A to B. Okay, so let's do that. So up here, and this is going to be useful later, like I said. So the first thing I'm going to do is to calculate R. R is going to be the final position, B, minus initial position, A. Now I can do that arrow. So the arrow, I'm going to call this arrow R. It's going to be an arrow. Its position is going to be object A, right? You could put A, or you could put ball A.pos. I'm going to put ball A.pos, because that's the vector location of where it is, which is also A. So you could do it either way. And I didn't put my spaces, but I'm not going back. Now my axis is going to be equal to R, and I need a color. Color equals color dot magenta. And I'm going to run it. And there you go. It's huge, but it's what we wanted. And there you go. So just a little intro to vectors and displaying vectors in Python. Like I said, we're going to be using Python more later, but that's a good getting you started. Talk to you later.